Hey guys, just wanted to announce this reanimated collab officially on my YouTube channels to spread the awareness of it a little bit and also detail some of the rules because the Google Docs I put up is a little bit TLDR, maybe a little bit. Alright, so let's get into it. This project is a little reanimated collaboration. The source material is a 16-page comic released by Team Cherry for Hollow Knight. It's a prequel comic featuring the character Quirrell. I've split the comic up into about 54 shots, so I figured it wouldn't be too difficult to do. I recommend that you go ahead and read the comic if you're interested in being a part of this, or if you're not interested in being a part of this and you haven't read it, you can go ahead and read it. It's a nice little read. I enjoy it anyway if you like Hollow Knight. If you do want to be a part of this, go ahead and read it for full context so that everybody's on the same page here as to what's going on in the animation. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you can get to it nice and easy. If you apply and receive a shot, please only animate the portion inside the red box. I'm going to be sending this out in full pages with little selections made just to give whoever's animating a piece of greater context in case they haven't read it or don't want to go searching through the comic to find their spot. Alright, some quick rules for applying. First, you'll have to go ahead and send me an email at benjiocart@gmail.com and put Hollow Knight Reanimated or Hollow Knight or something relative to that in the subject line so that I know what I'm looking at. Then underneath that, go ahead and put the username or real name that you'd like to be credited with. And if you'd like me to use a social media site as reference for your name so that I make sure to tie it correctly, go ahead and send me a link to that. After that, please go ahead and send me a couple videos or so. Not too many, but not too few either, because I'd like to have plenty of stuff to know what your animation style looks like, just so I can make sure that you're a good fit for this project. And lastly, if you have a Discord and would like to engage with other people working on this project, then go ahead and send me your username and ID number so that I can go ahead and friend you and invite you to the server. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and get into the details of the actual submission itself. For aspect ratio, 16:9 is going to keep things nice and simple. Most monitors are 16:9, and I believe YouTube's default player is 16:9, so we will be working in that aspect ratio. The resolution will be 1920 by 1080p. For frame rate, I'm going to be exporting the final video at about 30 FPS, so anything higher than that is going to be lost. Similarly, please make sure there are plenty of frames in your video because we don't want any slideshows. Alright, for the length of your shot, I think I've spaced them out enough that the lengths could be roughly the same, or at least the amount of work that'll go into each shot should be similar, or as similar as I could get it. But because we're animating still images and not pre-animated material like most of these reanimated collabs, there is no audio to time your animation to. And as such, it can be as long as you want or as short as you want technically, but but please make sure that you're including all the necessary information for the viewer to understand what they're seeing. And on the other hand, please don't drag the shot out for too long. This is of course up to your discretion, and if you need any help with timing, if you can't decide if a shot is too long or too short, go ahead and let me know. I will have a look at it, but I reckon it's fairly intuitive, so you shouldn't have a lot of trouble there. Now, because this is a comic, there are of course words, many words to be spoken by the characters, and the characters will not be fully voice acted. I'll be using clips from the games for the characters' voices, and all of the dialogue will be conveyed through text as it is in the comic and in the games. I said games, games plural now that Silksong will be coming out. So as a guide for how long your shot should be, if you have a shot with dialogue or text, your shot should be long enough for whoever is viewing the animation to be able to read the text at least 1.5 times before it moves on. Some shots have a lot of dialogue even though they're only one panel, so if you get a shot with a lot of dialogue, you might want to split up the shot into multiple camera angles to keep things interesting. Depending on the shot, of course. I'm gonna leave this up to others' discretion as well, in the name of artistic integrity and all of that. Alright, pretty important, don't add the text into your shot. I'm gonna be doing all of the text afterwards once I have all the submissions, just to keep all of the dialogue consistent, so all of the dialogue is easy to read, not too taxing to understand what's going on. Alright, I'd just like to quickly talk about atmosphere. Hollow Knight is a pretty somber, atmospheric game, and I'd like to reflect that in this animation. So if you'd like to work on this project, I hope you have experience with more serious stuff and not only comedic shots, because I'd like to avoid funny, haha, comedic shots for the most part with this. If you can somehow work some comedy into it in a way that doesn't distract from the narrative, I'm going to be leaving that up to artistic integrity as well. But please be careful, and if you want to do something funny, run it by me first, just so we don't have any misunderstandings. This doesn't mean that you have to stick to the original art style though. As long as your art style is conducive to nice, atmospheric, and overall fits into the flow of the animation, we should be fine. I'm gonna try to be pretty lenient as far as art styles go, so don't feel too hampered by this restriction. Alright, for audio, I'm gonna be doing all of the audio myself once I have all of the submissions collected. But if you have timed your shot to some specific audio, or you had a really cool idea in your head for what you wanted the audio to sound like, go ahead and include audio in your video to me. If the shot I received has audio in it, I will definitely use it as a guide and try to reflect the artist's intent. And if you feel that sending me the audio in the file is not specific enough and you want to express your thoughts better, go ahead and email me about it, just so I don't make any big mistakes. Now, as I said before, for the voices, the characters will be voiced by clips from the game, but if you've read the comic, you'll know that there is a third speaking character that does not appear in Hollow Knight. And so, I will be needing somebody to voice act Boone. If you know someone who has a good voice for Boone and has a good microphone, that's pretty important, please let me know, and hopefully we can make it fit in with the rest of the clips. If you need reference for what the made-up language should sound like, hop over to the Spriters resource. They have a few voice clips from the game you can use as a guide. Alright, for the credits, I'm gonna of course be putting a watermark on your scene, so that everybody knows whose work has gone into whichever particular shot has been worked on. And for the credits at the end, I'm gonna need everybody to go ahead and draw a Hollow Knight bug to represent themselves. These can be still or animated, but animated is of course more interesting and catches the eye more. So if you want people's eye to be drawn to your character, then go ahead and animate it. But if it's too much work, that's obviously understandable as well. That's pretty much all of the details here, so thanks for having a look. Hope you decide to join if you enjoy animating, and hopefully we can make something pretty cool here. I'm also not a very good salesman, so if you could help me spread these videos around, or just spread the project in general, I would really appreciate it, because I'd like to get this going. Have a good day!